Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. If you haven't been here before, hi, my name is Ostra, but you can also call me Ash. I really love makeup and project panning, and today I will finally be updating my 25 in 25. So if you're excited about that, then please keep on watching. So before we get into the update, I did quickly want to note a couple of things. First and foremost, this update is long overdue. I believe I filmed the introduction back in mid-January and we are currently at the 11th of April. So yeah, quite a lot of time has gone by. Second of all, I have not been wearing makeup as much as I'd like because I've been busy, especially in February and March. I believe throughout these past couple of months I have worn makeup around 40 times total. So that is definitely reflected in my uses throughout my projects, so do keep that in mind. And last of all, this is the second video I am filming today, so if my voice sounds a little different or if my makeup is not looking as cute as in the first video, that is why. But without further ado, let's just get into it. So starting off with the Game Set Matte Mattifying Primer from Makeup Obsession. Now, in the introduction, I believe I didn't quite mark the product very well, but I would say that at this point we are right about here. I should definitely mark the product because I don't have any lines going. But yeah, I've reached for this a total of 11 times, the 11th use being today. I frequently forget to reach for this primer as I usually just slap on my skincare and then continue on with my makeup, and this primer just isn't something I think about, but I definitely want to get this out of the way and need to step up my uses for that. Then we move into my concealer. This is the NYX Bear With Me concealer in the shade 02 Light, and I've reached for this 46 times total. Now the uses might be a bit higher because I said I reached for makeup about 40 days, like I had 40 makeup days, and what I mean with that is when I wear a full face of makeup. So I've worn a full face of makeup about 40 times, so those 6 extra uses come from days where I just slapped on a bit of concealer. But I did actually put some progress lines here. This is from the introduction, and this is the line that I put down to gauge how much half of that would be, because my goal is to use up half of this concealer, and this is where we are currently at. So that means I am about a third of the way through in terms of my goal, which is pretty good. I feel fairly hopeful that I can reach my goal on this before the end of the year. I really like this concealer. It's nice and lightweight. It is a bit too pink for me in terms of my undertone. I'm not sure what I am, whether it's neutral, goldeny, olive, but it's definitely not pink or cool toned. Next up we have another product from NYX, and that is the Buttermilk Bronzer in the shade 02 All Buttered Up. And I have reached for this a total of 41 times, and this is where we're looking at. So last time I noted that I had worn down some of the waves, but this time around I think you can definitely see that that patterning has lowered quite a bit and is, I would say, almost done. Now, a little while ago I thought I had hit pan on this bronzer. I'll insert a clip of that here, but we're not quite there yet. I don't know. Did this bronzer punk me? But anyway, we're not near pan yet, but I have been loving this, especially during the colder months. But now that it's warming up a bit more, I would like to get this out of the way as quickly as possible and focus on my other bronzer in this project that hasn't been getting enough love. So yeah, 41 uses, and hopefully I can hit pan on this before summer properly starts. Now, the other bronzer is the Melted Sun Cream Bronzer from Catrice in the shade 020 Beach Babe, and this is what we're looking at. This is after just 3 uses, the third one being today. I don't think you'll notice much of a difference from last time, Maybe it's worn down a little bit more in the middle, but no pan just yet. But yeah, like I said, I have been trying to focus on the buttermelt as much as possible, so I haven't been wearing this one as much. Moving into blush, we have the blush in 90 Bedazzling from Essence. And this is what we're looking at after 15 uses. No pan just yet, but I am wearing down the product quite evenly and it's looking nice and used. The lettering is almost faded right about now. But yeah, still no pan yet. Hopefully I can get there in 50 uses or so, but I definitely need to step up my game. Then we have a blush that I don't currently have with me, and that is the Blusher Reloaded in the shade Peach Bliss from Makeup Revolution. I already took so many blushes with me. I'm currently at my partner's place, so I didn't bring that one with me, but I only used it once, so you wouldn't really notice much of a difference anyway. Then we move on to this little blush palette from BH Cosmetics, the Chocolate Orange Truffle palette. And I have used this shade twice. I believe there is a little bit of pan expansion, but no empty pan just yet. But this is definitely the time of year where I would be reaching for it more. So I am pretty hopeful that I can get this done before summer, or before the end of summer anyway. Then we have another little palette, and that is a blush and highlighting palette from Kiko Milano, the Magical Holiday Blush and Highlighter palette in 02 Stardust. And the blush I reached for twice. I'm wearing it today on my cheekbones, and the blush from Essence right here. And the highlighter I reached for 6 times. Every single time I went in with my finger and just placed it on the tops of my cheek, on the bridge of my nose, and on the tip of my nose, on my chin, and on my cheekbones, and sometimes my brow bone. But yeah, I feel like the dip has expanded or gotten deeper in the blush. I think I might be less than 20 uses away from pan. As for the highlighter, there's a little bit of expansion there, but nothing major. But I am pretty hopeful that I can get this used up before the end of the year. Now for the last highlighter in this project, I have definitely moved mountains with this one, but we're not quite there yet. I've reached for this a total of 27 times, and that is the Chubby Cheek Sculpting Highlight in the shade 010 Hefty Highlight, and this is what we're looking at. So last time the product was a lot higher in terms of the rim of the packaging, but I believe I've used up, I would say maybe half of that now. I'm really hoping I can get this done before the end of summer, but this might be something that stays in for the rest of the year, as I also try to kind of spread my love on both of these. But yeah, 27 uses, and I do think I've made quite good progress on this. Moving into some lip products, starting off with the Makeup Revolution lipstick in the shade Vice. And after 5 uses, this is where we're at. I'm pretty sure I have worn down the product quite a bit. I've mostly been using this as a cream blush, and I would sometimes top it off on my lips over another product. But to apply this, I would be generous with swiping this in the palm of my hand, using a dense, thick brush and making sure the bristles are coated, and then applying it to my cheeks. And yeah, I feel like we're definitely getting there, and now that it's getting warmer, I'm even more likely to reach for this, especially during the summer months. And before I had this hair color, my hair was actually a bright orange, and the orange hair with the orange blush was just beautiful. Hopefully it still works now. It might look a bit more complimentary, but yeah, regardless, I love this as a cream blush, and I might try and get as much use out of it in the next couple of months, and I'm fairly optimistic about being able to use this up. As for glosses, this is the 3D Hydra Gloss from Kiko Milano in the shade 17. I dropped that lipstick and I used this 5 times as well, but I don't believe I have made much progress on this, but it definitely is nice with the hair as well as my pan up palette for the year, the Rosewater Quad. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to be reaching for this more. It is not my favorite shade because of how pink it is, but it can be worn over other lipsticks to create a different kind of tone. Now, last but not least for glosses, this is the Makeup Revolution Brown Gloss. This was like a limited edition thing for Christmas or New Year's, and I have only reached for it once, and that is today. I kind of topped it off over the rest of my lip combination as it had worn down quite a bit, because this is the second video I'm filming today, so yeah, it's fine. Also, if you're curious about what I'm wearing on my face, feel free to have a look at the description box down below. Last but not least for lip products are these lingerie liquid lipsticks from NYX Cosmetics in the shade Embellishment and Seduction. I've reached for these to 7 times respectively each, and there's definitely quite a lot of windowing happening. I think 15 to 20 uses each before I fully empty them, and I really want to make sure to get these out before the next update. I am so ready to be done with these. This one is at least 5 years old, and this one is probably even older than that, so yeah. Now for eyes, if you haven't watched my Pan That Palette and Project Level Up update, be sure to do that first, otherwise you're going to be spoiled. But these 2 quads, the Cream and Sugar and the Rosewater quads, are ones that I'm working on emptying. So this is 6 goals in total. For the Cream and Sugar bite-size quad, I have reached for it 8 times total. Shade 2 I've reached for 8 times, and shade 3 I've reached for 3 times. I'm hoping to get this done before next update so I can at least hit my goal on 1 product. Then for the Rosewater Quad, I have hit pan in the first shade after 14 uses, and the rest of these shades have been used 14 times as well. Been really enjoying this, but I really hope to have more progress on these quads before next update. Now for singles, we have the My Must-Haves from Essence in the shade 22 Holaholic, and this is what we're looking like after 2 uses. I haven't used this much. I've only used it once underneath of the eye on the lower lash line and once in the inner corner, and there's just a lot more hard pan forming, but I think I should be able to hit pan on either one of these singles before next update if I focus on them a bit more. Next up we have the Metal Foil eyeshadow in the shade Queen from Phase Zero, and I reached for this 3 times. This is really great as a topper, so that's how I've been using it, and the usage is spread evenly across the pan, as that is just how I like to do it, because I just tap my finger in there and then swipe it across the lid. Now last but not least, we have 2 eye pencils. These are the long-lasting eye pencils from Essence. One is in the shade 02 Hot Chocolate, and this is how much we have left after 13 uses, so not a whole lot. I feel fairly optimistic about being able to get these done before the end of the year, and maybe even finish one of these before next update, or perhaps I am being very ambitious. And then this is the shade 01 Black Fever, and I reached for that one 16 times, and as you can see, the usage is pretty evenly spread across both of these eye pencils. The black one is just slightly taller than the brown one, but they're both looking nice and short, and they're definitely shorter than they were in the introduction. So that's going to be it for me for today. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, maybe comment something down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a brand new video. Also, let me know your predictions in what will be rolling out for next update, if anything. So that'll be it for me. Bye!